Please subscribe the channel.
This video will cover what is the controller, what is the processor, and the terminology of the component which used in the computer, what is the operating system, and the terminology of the software part as well. So let's start our journey. If you take any device in the electronics, there is three things common. One is input, second is the processing unit. Whatever we provide the input, based upon the input, there is something processing, and the third is the output. Core component whatever we use in the processing unit is mostly is about the controller or the processor. So let's start with the controller. So as the name suggests, controller used for controlling the things. Controller is mainly used for the device which have specific use case, like the washing machine, automation and the control system, oven, TV remote control, the things which have the specifically designed for the specific task completion. This type of device is mainly used controller as a core part, like the washing machine in example. Input like how much time we need to rotate the motor and the how much RPM we require for the cleaning our clothes. Such type of the input we are providing, and based upon our input, controller will take care to stop the washing machine and the control the speed of the motor. Input is limited this type of device, and the output is the specific task. Software part which available in such devices is called the firmware. We are providing some input in the washing machine, so there is some software which counting and the controlling the things based upon our input, right? So such type of software available in each devices we call the firmware. If you divide the actual name, then you get the better idea. Like the firmware is the type of software provided by any vendor or firm which operate their device only. If the company manufacturing the washing machine, they provide the software which control the washing machine, and such type of software already pre-configure and inbuilt in such device, and such type of software we call firmware. If we take the example of the bigger system which used the controller and the multiple devices at the same time we need to operate, at that time we normally use the RTOS which control the individual device or the individual firmware. Its full form is the real-time operating system. And if we take the example of such type of the system, then the air traffic control system is the one of the example of such type. Let's talk about the processor. As the name suggests, processor used for processing things. Processor mainly used for the general purpose devices like PC, mobiles. It has multiple use case like PC used for the document creation, video editing, gaming and email messaging. So there are two type of instruction set processed by any processor. One is SIS and the second one is RISC. As the name suggests, SIS contains complex instruction which take more than one power cycle to execute. Its CISC full form is Complex Instruction Set Computer, and in other side, the RISC as the Reduced Instruction Set Computer. As the name suggests, it has the specific and the simple instruction, and to execute each instruction, each takes single power cycle. RISC mainly used in the mobile devices, and if we take the example of such processor is the ARM processor, Snapdragon or the MediaTek, like the company manufacturing such ARM processor, which used in the mobile. Other side, the PC or the laptop is mainly used the x86 processor, which based upon CISC architecture, and the Intel and AMD mainly manufacturing such type of the processor. Let's take one example of the desktop computer. There is the power input, which is main things required by any device. Second is the input. There is multiple keys on the board, so it's called the keyboard. And the second is the mouse. If you check our cursor on the screen, we can move anywhere, everywhere this cursor, so it's called the mouse. This also one of the input devices. If talk about the output devices, there is one display device we call as monitor, because whatever we input provide, we need to check the status or the monitor it. And there is the speaker. If we require the audio output, then we can listen from here. So the central unit between the input and output, we got the processing, so it's called central processing unit. In the short form, it's CPU. And the cabinet which contains this whole things or the CPU, we call the CPU cabinet. So there is main circuit board which hold all other component. So we call such type of the circuit, we call is motherboard. The main things of this motherboard is the processor, which execute the instruction or the process it. The storage part is the hard disk, which store the data. So the hard disk is very much slow compared to the processor, so we need to wait each time to get the data or store the data. So we added the middleware, which called the RAM, is the random access memory. It is faster than the hard disk, so we just use whatever data we need to process. First we copy into the RAM, and after that we just use this data with the processor. Once our work done, we just copied our output or the desired data into the storage. So from the RAM we can speed up our interaction with the processor, so we use RAM as a middleware from the storage and the processor. There is some other component is the graphics related. This is the graphics card. It also containing the processor, so we generally call it's the GPU, graphics processing unit. It has its own RAM and the processing power, but this is specially designed for the graphics component, like what pixel and what the color combination we need to display on the display devices. So it's only used for the graphics multiplications and the operations, whereas our general processor is used for many mathematical operation or the general purpose operation. So whatever power GPU or the processor used for the processing, they convert into the heat, and such type of heat will affect the other component in the CPU cabinet. So we introduce cooling system, which may be the fan or the liquid cooling system, which reduce the temperature inside the CPU cabinet. There are some other component we attach as per the requirement, like the Wi-Fi module or the USB interface or any other connector. And there is one network interface as well, which required to connect to the outside of the network. And yes, there is one other component is the switch mode power supply, we call SMPS, which used to distribute the power to the component inside the CPU like the motherboard and the hard disk if required the external power in the GPU as well. So let's talk about the motherboard and its firmware. The motherboard is the main circuit board in the computer which hold all the component, and the firmware which provided by the motherboard manufacturer we call is BIOS, basic input output system, and the upgraded version of the BIOS we normally call as the UEFI. It's a unified extensible firmware interface. So the normally the BIOS is available in such type, but in the some latest computers we also get some graphical component in the BIOS utility, so it's look like some better and easy to configure. There is multiple changes from the BIOS and the UEFI, but the major changes is to secure boot is new added in the UEFI, and some of the limitation what the BIOS have like the partitioning system we removed in the UEFI, and other some of the minor changes also available. As the name suggests, desktop computer built to operate on any static setup or like setup on the desk, and we can use it like. But if we take any requirement from the any business person, then such person required to the mobile setup, like if he or she traveling and during the travel they want to attend any business meeting or the any presentation creations type of stuff, at that time they can't do using such setup. So such type of requirement we just introduce new device which called the laptop. So the laptop is the same thing and the same component whatever available in the desktop computer, but the size of the component is the smaller one, and also the capacity of the processing unit of the processor it is also the less compared to the desktop, because laptop have one limitation, like we didn't use direct power, instead of we use the battery. To save the battery life we just use whatever our desired output instead of the high performance or high power consumption things. The name suggests laptop is the device we put in our lap or the hand. But if we think about any normal person, we don't require any business meeting to attend or any presentation creation. We just need to use any internet surfing or the watching the video or the basic gaming. So such type of things we don't need to carry the laptop everywhere along with our other electronics device like the mobile. So the now the requirement is to put this all the available component or the required computing devices into the mobile phone, so anyone can easily carry the things with day to day life. So the such type of the improvement or the revolution we just introduce SoC, which called system on chip. Such type of the processor is contains the required all the things into a single chip, like the processor, graphic component, RAM, storage, all this available in the single chip. Existing available all the smartphone is containing such type of the processor. So let's start with the software part. The device containing the processor has the different type the hardware component is available inside. So obviously this component come from the different vendor or the firm. They have their own vendor code or the firmware to operate it. Device need a solution which manage this all different firmware and operate the hardware with respect to our need or the instruction. So such type of the software system which operate such device is called operating system. As we earlier discussed, the processor is the general purpose and it also the multitasking. It's do the multiple tasks at the same time. So if we take the example, if I need to watch the video and as well as I also doing some work like the document creation. So at that time I required some processing for the documentation as well. I also need to get some output on the display device and also the audio data on the speaker. So at the same time, there is a multiple hardware component and the firmware. It's need to play their role, and also I want the switching between these all tasks at any moment. So this all need to in sync with each other. So to manage this all thing we require a system which is generally we call operating system. Let's start with the OS. Basically we can divide it into the three layer. In the bigger picture there is the two main portion is available in the operating system. One is the user space which contains the user configuration and the software which interact with the user, which normally called the application. And the second portion is the kernel. Further we can divide into the two part as well. First is driver and second is management stuff. So the driver is actually the firmware provided by any firm or the vendor. Like if we got any graphics card, then the firm which manufacturing the graphics card is also provide the firmware. But the firmware we directly don't use because we need to maintain or the sync with other component as well. So we just integrate this firmware into our kernel. So the kernel will manage the stuff in the further processing, and the whatever instruction provided from the user space, kernel will act or manage based upon the lower side of the hardware. You can also map the scenario like in the army there is one kernel which instruct or the manage its lower soldier. Like the same mapping we can map here. The kernel is instruct or map the lower device component and drive it. So we generally call this is the driver because the kernel will drive the hardware component which is present in the CPU cabinet. So whatever the difference between the firmware versus driver. Firmware we can directly run on the device which provided by the manufacturer, but the driver it is the code which managed by the OS. In the other word, the OS is drive the component using this driver. It is not the individual code we can just run on the component side. An example of the operating system, there is the Ubuntu and the Fedora is the open source operating system, and the one is the Windows 10, and in case of the mobile we get the Android as the operating system example. So as I earlier told, the user interactive any software available in the user space we call the application. If we take the example Firefox and the Chrome browser, any video player like the VLC, MS Office or the virtual box, all these things available in the application category. The kernel contains the vendor provided firmware code which compatible with the specific kernel version which called the driver. Driver drive the specific component added in the device. This thing is important. Whatever we add the driver, it must compatible with our existing kernel or the kernel version. Otherwise, kernel can't order any component using this driver, or component doesn't react because the driver is doesn't compatible with the kernel. So if we take any example, sound card driver or the graphics card driver. So whenever we play any audio data, so the kernel is using the sound card driver to send the data to the sound card or instruct the sound card to which data should play. Kernel also contains the complex code which manage such driver call based upon application execution requirement. So there is much more component available in our computer. So whatever the component we need to use during our application execution, kernel will maintain or the call such thing based upon the requirement. So this is the core part of the kernel which contains the memory management, storage management. If we take the example of any kernel is like the Linux is the open source kernel. There is the Windows kernel and the Android kernel as well. So now let's take the workflow of any application. So the OS has two main part of any application. One is to install the application and the second is execute the application. Installation of the applications means store application data into the storage which required to execute at any point of time. Next is the execution of the application means load application data from storage to RAM and further inform to the processor to execute it. Now the application data which available in the RAM for the processing, it's called program. So let's take one example. If any bigger application which take around the 4 GB of RAM at the time of loading, but it use only the 1 GB of RAM at a time, and our device have only the 2 GB RAM. At that case, normally our device is refused to execute. So overcome such type of the problem, we have the new terminology come into the software world which called the virtualization. So the virtualization means the hiding the things between the two different layer. Now if our application require the 4 GB of RAM at the time of load, so now kernel internally manage the 2 GB of data to load from the storage to RAM and start the execution of the program, and whenever required the further 2 GB, then just it swap from the storage and the RAM, execute further program or the application. Such type of code we can add into the virtualization category. There is much more different type of the virtualization available. The memory virtualization, storage virtualization, OS virtualization. So this is just basic overview of the virtualization. So what is the malware? So the firmware which malfunctioning or the doing the things without user's requirement or the knowledge is called malware. It may any program or the application. There are multiple types of malware available. If we take any example, then the virus, spam, ransomware, these all are available in the malware category. So please share and subscribe my channel if you like. Learn simple and achieve big. Thanks.